So if you have someone who has severe dementia, and this, I know we laugh, but people really do this. They don't do any planning and then they wonder. And so you should have that backpack prepared in advance and include them. And one of the things I say with people who have dementia is you need to observe them and say, what is going to make this person comfortable? Because it's going to be a very uncomfortable situation. So at a minimum, give them something that will make them comfortable so that when you have the backpack, you have all their physical needs taken care of as best you can, all that. But then also something that will, because one of the things that'll actually happen and will hinder evacuations is when people try to evacuate demented people and they'll say, hey, I, I'm not going to leave without blank. I won't leave without this thing or that thing. And so what I say is with dementia, make sure that they have that one thing they won't leave without. Please make sure you include that. Make room in the backpack for that thing. It can't be something huge, but something that if the worst came to worst, I'll have something available specifically for them to be able to relax them in a tough situation.
That
This
makes
happens
sense.
to
I don't know. I don't.
teenagers too.
Yeah, for real. I don't know what that would have been the last year or so of my mom's life, but like
Mhm.
when I took over her care, it would have been her awful purse. I would have wanted to let that thing burn or whatever, float away in the flood. Um, Chances are burning is more what we'd be dealing with. So it's helpful to know that despite my initial reaction, and she didn't have anything important in it, but being a woman of a certain age, it was amazing all the ladies that would carry their purses around the memory care. And then as
Yes, I've noticed that too. I noticed that too. Yeah, they always wanted to have their purse with them,
oh,
but with
gotta have that purse.
they gotta have it. Yeah. And so make that part of your disaster kit. Don't fight it. That's a reason why I say get a backpack that's specific for them. And actually, the purse gives you a little bit of room. You can put some things in there, probably, right? So, but just making sure that those things are there. I love that story because that's just so important. Because you're absolutely right. Those are familiar things that'll make a big difference, especially as you're trying to move someone from one place to somewhere else, especially an unfamiliar place, which may happen in a disaster.
Well, hopefully, my listeners will not ever have to use their disaster backpacks that they're gonna start working on tomorrow after they've listened to this.
Yes.
But now we've at least helped them understand some things because my instinct would be like have my emergency backpack, but then like shove a ton of crap into my car. Pillows, clothes, my backup hard drive for my computer. Most of my stuff's in Dropbox, so I wouldn't have to worry about it. But it's like, depending on how much time I have like a hierarchy of things I'd start shoving into my car. So maybe I'll have to rethink that. But hopefully, I know caregivers that have had to evacuate for wildfires. Fortunately, none of their homes burned, but unfortunately, I think our the percentage possibility is going up every year, which is just frustrating. So I
Well,
really
one of the things I think that people need to understand now about wildfires is one of the things that has been an astonishing and sort of an astonishing phenomenon as an emergency professional. And the reason why about to mention what I'm about to mention because it changes so much of what we do. It's not the size of the fires; it's the speed of them, how fast they are burning. So literally, what you are saying, I hear from people all the time. Oh, I'm just going to grab this and throw this in my car and throw that in my car and throw these. They go, you may not have the time. Paradise was a wake-up call. The August complex fire was another one that also happened in August of 2020. That was a massive fire. That was what we call a gig fire because it was 1 million contiguous acres. And it wasn't even the size that really shocked us.